21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
So many entrepreneurs want to know how to scale their business. They're coming to work every single day. They're busting their ass. They're investing time, energy, and resources. Their family life is struggling. Their relationships are struggling, and they still can't grow. That was me until I found EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, in 2017. I brought in an integrator to help scale, and that completely transformed the growth of our business and actually gave me the freedom and autonomy to work less while increasing our net income. My name is Jeremy Jenson. I'm the founder and CEO of Encore Search Partners. We're a 40-person direct hire recruiting firm headquartered here in Houston, Texas. Companies basically retain us to poach people from their competitors in order to fast track the hiring process. We work with small to mid-sized companies. We work with private equity and venture capital-backed companies. And then we work with big, large Fortune 1000 organizations that want to top grade their mid-level managers. I started the company back in 2013 after I had an email marketing and lead generation business. And then after starting a recruiting business in 2013, I was coming to work every single day. I was making $250,000, $300,000, $500,000 a year, and I thought that I was successful until I realized that my family life was struggling, and it was because I was working all the time. And luckily, I found EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, in 2017. I brought in an EOS integrator who was our COO at the time. And by him bringing in processes, systems, and accountability, we've been able to grow 10x over the last 7 years. And so I'm pretty proud of that growth. Here in the US, the economy was infused with about $8 trillion of stimulus capital back in 2021 through the CARES Act. So companies got PPP money, they got employee retention credits. There was over $5 trillion that specifically went to business owners. And so what happened was there's a tremendous amount of commerce, right? People were buying and selling goods. And what a direct result of that is there's a lot of companies that did a tremendous amount of hiring, right? And so I think as an entrepreneur, we can all relate to where 2022 was an unbelievable year for business here in the US. But in times where it's a hot market, you can get away with having B players on your team, right? Because the phone's ringing no matter what. Clients are giving you new purchase orders. They're bringing you a tremendous amount of repeat business. And there's this false sense of accomplishment that things are blowing and going and doing great just because of the market dynamics. Well, in 2023, things kind of started to slow from what I could see, from a hiring standpoint here in the US. And so 2023, our revenue was down about 10%. In 2024, right, obviously there were some severe unknowns. Who was going to get elected into office, right? Do I scale up? Do I downsize? Our clients aren't calling us as often. We saw COVID kind of create a massive increase in the cost of labor, right? The cost of health insurance, various other resources like rent and technology, right? Just our overhead increased over 25%. And so I've got my employees saying we want raises because of cost of living. I've got my vendors saying we want to charge more for the exact same goods and services. And then I've got my clients saying, hey, can you actually charge us less right? Because, we're starting to feel the squeeze from our clients. And so that created a tremendous amount of fee compression as an entrepreneur over the last 12 months, which has been a relative struggle. And, what I can say is, the light bulb moment for us was realizing that people that we thought were A players back in 21 and 22, when the phone was ringing, unfortunately, when they don't have the ability to self-generate deals, right, they're actually struggling a tremendous amount in 2024. And so, really what we're going to be doing over the next 12 months is investing a lot of time, energy, and resources to top grade our staff, right? And so finding people that have the ability to self-generate clients, right? Have the ability to turn an existing client into a referral and bring in new business, right? Because if we capitalize on a slow and depressed economic market and we go out and steal other people's A players because they're feeling the squeeze, that's going to allow us to steal a tremendous amount of market share, right? And then that way, when things come back, hopefully in 26, 27, 28, now we've got a team of rock stars where we can really capitalize on a hot market again. One of the challenges that a lot of our clients are facing is they're keeping the same people on their team that they've had for the past several years, right? And while they've been serviceable employees in order to get where they've gotten today, I think it's important for entrepreneurs to recognize that if you want to grow another 3x, 5x, or 10x, you might need to bring in somebody that's got a fresh set of ideas, right? New processes, new skills, new technologies in order to bring something new to the table, because it's important for us to remember that our existing employees are only limited by what they've learned with our company, right? And so if you're not constantly focused on bringing in new people that have new ideas that can really push the envelope and challenge the status quo, all you're ever going to get is what you've gotten today. One of the things that we did with EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, is very early on, we clearly defined what is our mission, what is our vision, and what are our core values, right? And when we had clarity around those three initiatives, unfortunately, we had to turn over about 80% of the company because a lot of our legacy employees were just not committed to our vision for the future, right? And so we did a great job of attracting individuals that did fit those core values. And even though they didn't have experience with our direct competitors, we knew that they were grateful, they were resilient, professional, coachable. We knew that they were competitive and inquisitive. And what we found is that if you give us people that fit those characteristics, because we had a mechanism that had a proven process and system, that as long as we trained them on our process and system, that we could turn them into rock stars, right? And so that's really what allowed us to grow from that 2 million in revenue to 10 million in revenue. But one of the things that we've recently come to light is in order for us to go from 10 million to 50 million, we're always going to be limited if we solely focus on grooming entry-level people, because it takes a long time for them to turn into vice president level talent, right? And so we brought in a digital marketing team that could actually video our culture, right? What's a day in the life, right? We highlight, who are our employees of the month, right? Are we winning deals? Are we losing deals? Why are we winning? We showcased our awards, our company events, And whenever we did a great job of showcasing that culture on social media, that created a very proven organic process that attracted those vice president level people at our competitors that didn't say, hey, Jeremy, I want to come work for you because of your commission plan. It said, I want to come work for you because you've got a great business with great people, right? And so I think that it's very important to have both, right? The business plan, the process, the structure, the infrastructure is what you need in order to groom entry-level talent. But if you want to get to the next level, you're going to need subject matter expertise. And I think we all know that those rock star A players that have the 10 plus years of experience, they want to come work for a great culture, not necessarily a great system, because they've already got their own system that created incredible success where they're at today. You know, the one thing that really was the growth catalyst from a personal standpoint was, you know, I'd always known that I was the best recruiter, that I was the best salesperson, that I was the best trainer, the best hirer within the company, right? But I had to get out of my own way because I was a control freak. I wanted to control every single facet of the business. I was even doing the accounting, right? I was doing the job posts and interviewing all of our own people. And once I had the humility to say, hey, look, even though I can hire someone and put them responsible for doing something different than what I'm doing, they might do it differently than me, but as long as it gets done, that's perfectly okay. And so I really had to get out of my own way in order to grow the business. And I think the reason why we were able to effectively do that is because we have clarity around what is our mission, meaning where are we going, right? Why are we going there? What is the problem that we solve in the market, right? What is our purpose? What is our vision, right? Where do we see ourselves in 5 years, 10 years, and why? And then what are our values? What are the things that fuel us on a day-to-day basis, right? And so as long as I had individuals that fit those three aligned functions, mission, vision, and values, the way in which they did the work in order to cross it off the checklist, it really didn't matter, right? Because I knew that they shared the same mindset, right? And then when I started to show up with authenticity, right? Not concealing information. If I was in a lawsuit, I disclosed that to my team. If we had a bad revenue month and we lost money, I disclosed that to the team. If we were looking to hire people, if we were looking to do layoffs, I disclosed that to the team. And so by leading with vulnerability and authenticity, that created a tremendous amount of trust and rapport with our high performers. And that allowed us to grow even more, right? Another thing that we started implementing about 2 years ago, because we saw that individuals were just confused at why we would bring in new people and they would get all the praise, and maybe these legacy people that had been here 3 or 4 years weren't feeling the love that they thought that maybe that they weren't entitled to. And one of the things that I rolled out to the company was I told them, I said, hey guys, we don't run this company like a military operation. You don't get paid on time and grade, right? Just because you've been here for 5 years, you didn't achieve a certain rank and level, right? We run this like a sports team, right? So whenever the New England Patriots, they might have a running back that has been with the team for the last 5 years that has always gotten the ball. But if I bring a rookie running back that's bigger, stronger, faster, and he gives me a higher probability to score a touchdown, well, guess what? I'm gonna hand the ball off to the person that gives me the highest probability to score. So by being transparent about that sports team culture and that performance mindset, that's really kept everybody focused on continually to hone their craft and level up their game, right? To where it doesn't breed complacency. It doesn't breed entitlement. And if you've been on the team for 5 years and you're not focused on growth and self-improvement, some new guy is going to come in and steal your starting spot. That's been critical to our growth and success. once we achieved a certain financial level of success, right, I was fortunate to where I had the opportunity to buy my home in cash, right, buy all my cars in cash. And so when you have your kids' college funds that are pre-funded and all of your Maslow's hierarchy of needs taken care of, right, the work that I do with my life coach, I communicated to him that I was carrying a tremendous amount of like guilt and shame tied to income inequality, right? And fortunately, he introduced me to some philanthropic organizations back in 2021 for us to get involved in, right? And so I communicated this to my COO, and we ended up trickling down to our staff. And I'm very proud to say that the company invests over $500,000 a year in charitable contributions. And so we're super participatory with the Autism Speaks Foundation, the No Autism Foundation, the Lymphoma and Leukemia Society. We participate in so many different Houston charitable organizations in order to give back to our community, to where it really gives our employees a forum where they can feel good about the contribution that they can give to our community, whether it's a check that they write or whether it's the time that they're invest. Because we all know that working in the recruitment industry, we can be so hyper focused on money, right? That it's important to take a step back and be grateful for what we have and share our abundant resources with those who need it most. So if you're an entrepreneur and you see the value in capitalizing in a down market to go and steal some of the top performers, right, from your competition, you need to call a recruiter that understands how to poach great people. And if you like what you've heard and you trust me as a subject matter expert in the headhunting space, I would love to support your desire to go and poach people from your direct competitors. And so shoot me a direct message on LinkedIn. My name is Jeremy Jenson, Jeremy Jenson, and I'm on LinkedIn. I've got a little goat emoji next to my name. I'm self-proclaimed monikered as the GOAT in the recruitment industry. And so if you shoot me a message, I'd love to have a discovery call with you, and I'd love to talk about what it takes to increase the enterprise value of your company by just stealing somebody from your competition.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
Imagine a space where triumphs, trials, and tales of entrepreneurship come alive. Welcome to the 21st Century Entrepreneurship Podcast, a gold awarded journey hosted by Martin Piskarik, connecting with listeners in 95 countries and ranking in the top 0.5% of all podcasts. Join our exclusive community, elevate your perspective, and embark on the path to success.